podcast where we talk about everything and anything. Chris, man, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good, man, good. Well, today we have Ben Como, man, from the Yeti food truck, the Veggie Yeti.
The Veggie Yeti, yeah.
The Veggie Yeti, man.
Cool.
Yeah, we introduced ourselves. I've gotten some food from his truck. It was delicious, and I know we were talking about getting some vegan people here, getting some food trucks, get going, understand that a little bit more. So I figured, who better than Ben over here, man? So
Yeah.
You can call me Como too.
Como?
Yeah, everybody
Como.
calls me Como.
All right, my
Right.
man. All right, Como.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, it's like, I want to know why.
Why?
Why, how, and when all this started.
The vegan part of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could get going by I guess just that, like what.
Well, first of all, how long you guys been vegan?
No, well,
No,
I'm a vegetable hater.
What?
Yeah, but this is my thing.
Breaking my heart over here.
This is my thing. So I eat vegetables,
Mm-hmm.
but not because I like them. I eat them because I know they're good.
Because you're an adult.
Yeah, basically. So I know they're good for your health. So I had to eat them.
Yeah.
I kind of want to live a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So that's I
Yeah.
trying to be healthy, but that's not the part that I enjoy. So that's the
You're
part.
not
of the,
like, ooh, Brussels sprouts. Can't wait to dig into that. Can't wait to get into those.
bring me
Kale?
that, bro.
What?
Boy. Yeah. Plus, I don't know how to cook the vegetables.
Okay.
Right.
So I tried kale before.
Yeah.
Because I hear it's very good for your health. But when I tried to make it, download a recipe from the internet, it was horrible. But that's
Right.
probably because I had made it wrong.
Yeah.
Not necessarily means that.
So you need to step your cooking game up. That's what you're saying?
That's what it's
on
saying.
top of
that's what you're saying?
Besides a lot of other stuff.
Got it. Don't blame the vegetables. Blame your cooking, okay?
Well, that's like one of the greatest things, I think with this new people getting more into eating healthy and more people getting more to vegetarian diets, vegans, more restaurants are coming out, better recipes, better quality of food. So that probably helps, like to people like me to say like, okay, I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah. I can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because before it was just probably like, here's a bunch of vegetables, have fun,
Yeah.
and not all of them are like delicious.
Yeah.
Or like probably for me, that I don't like.
You have to find the ones that you like.
Yeah.
And you know how to cook.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I know how to cook a steak, but that's the thing is like I need to add the vegetables part.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Well,
like Chris was saying, like vegan or being vegan or veganism is trending, but from your part that you have like good knowledge on this, let's start by like what exactly is vegan? Like what is a vegan diet?
So
and then from there we could go on like why.
So vegan's not a diet. Vegan's
Okay.
more of a lifestyle.
Okay.
If you consider yourself a vegan, you're not going to buy like a down sleeping bag. You're not going to buy leather shoes. You're not going to do
Gotcha.
anything in your life that harms an animal.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you would be not looking to be a vegan.
No, I know.
Maybe you would be. Maybe you do. I don't know. I don't know your life.
I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah, you're looking at more of a plant-based lifestyle,
Gotcha.
where you want to eat more plant-based foods and just eat vegetables, like you said, because it's the right thing to live longer, to be healthier. No doctor's ever going to come to you and be like, "You're eating too much broccoli,"
Right, yeah.
But if you eat steak, some doctor be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
your cholesterol's off the charts. You might need to calm down on the steak." Homie.
Right.
Like, so plant-based diet is more when people say I'm a vegan because I don't eat meat. A lot of them are just plant-based diet
Gotcha.
because they're still wearing leather shoes, maybe, or
And it's
not incorporating.
Sorry, try to move the microphone a little bit closer to you,
Yeah.
so that way we can hear you.
so is it's more of a like it's like a love for animals turned into like a healthy diet?
No, not for me. No.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's where I was going.
Yeah.
So like I want, because like you seem like honestly you seem like a meat eating guy just by looking at you.
Yeah,
but
I was a hardcore meat eater.
There you go.
Yeah, my dad grew up in Texas. I mean, chicken fingers. I was in the Army for 10 years and lived in the South, so we did a lot of pig pickings.
Okay.
I was a hardcore meat eater for 28 years of my life, probably 35 years of my life.
Wow.
Never even thought about being a plant-based diet or a vegan or anything like that. And when I was 28, I had some prostate issues, and they put me on this medication for a while, a couple years, like 6-7 years.
Okay.
And I just hated how the medication made me feel. I had, as much as any guy likes their butt being played with, I had to get prostate exams every 6 months to make sure I wasn't going cancerous.
Okay.
So when I was 35, I said, I don't want to do this the rest of my life.
Right.
So I started researching diets and like how food could help me. Came across veganism and like plant-based diets. And I was all my healthcare was through the VA, so I went to my doctor, who's this. At the time, I thought he was gonna be some old crusty VA doctor. He was gonna be like, "You need to eat your red meat," you know?
Right.
And he was like, "I haven't ate meat in 20 years. It's the worst thing you can put in your body." And I was like, "Okay." So we discussed it some more, and the next day I walked out and I was a vegan, and plant-based at that time because I hadn't transitioned my life into veganism.
Right.
Gotcha.
But I went into a plant-based diet and started just educating myself and. Started doing the research, and so I completely did it for health reasons.
Okay.
The more documentaries I watched and the more I educated myself, it's about a 50-50 role now of like, it's nice to not be a dick, to have to
Right.
eat and have to kill animals and have to have that a part of my life. And I'm doing it for health reasons. So,
Perfect, man.
yeah.
That's actually really cool.
That's cool. I'm a complete dick, so
Yeah.
I need a
I'm not
whole,
saying- I mean, hey, no judgment on this side of the table.
to
Yeah.
die
Yeah.
to feed me.
Yeah.
But no, but that's I'm not against people who trying to get better, you know,
Yeah.
and definitely eating vegetables, eating healthy diet, especially if you're trying to stay away from American diet, which is a horrible
Yeah.
diet, is a good thing. So I'm not against that.
Yeah.
You know, I know like vegans have like bad reputation.
Yeah, we do have of being like preachy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I try to stay away from that. So my goal with the food truck when I opened it was I'm not like, I was raised in the church, and the church, taught fire and brimstone, and I saw how it didn't work and how it kind of turns people away from religion and stuff like that. And so when I was like, okay, I'm gonna start this journey, my journey was, I'm going to make it accessible where people can walk away and be like, I can do that 1 day a week. I can do that in 2 days a week. I can incorporate that into my diet. I want to start doing stuff like this more. And if I can get everybody just to go meatless 1 day,
Right.
I mean, that's 1/7 of the population
Start
going vegan.
small, right?
Yeah, like it's just trying to make a difference in my small part of the world.
So it's like a message from your end, like out of, as weird as it sounds, because it's not a religion, but it kind of is. So it's a message of love, and you did it like
Yeah.
peacefully.
yeah, I'm not like,
Right.
if you don't want to be a vegan, if you don't want to be plant-based,
Perfect,
I'm not
yeah.
trying to push it on you,
Right.
but I'm showing you what's out there so that you can be like, I can incorporate that into my life. And I
Right.
can incorporate that into my diet once or twice a week, and if not more, if you start liking it.
But you
And like,
oh, sorry, go
No,
ahead.
go ahead.
Yeah,
Go
no,
for it.
but you understand that it was the transition is hard for most people.
It is.
Was the transition hard for you?
no, one day I was eating meat,
Wow.
chicken wings, pulled pork. I love pulled pork.
Yeah.
But I like living a lot more than I like eating. So
Right.
Gotcha.
And so we didn't take any loans out for the food truck. So I drove Lyft for a long time, and I gave a lot of rides. And everybody that got into the car, I was like, okay, this is the time in the journey where you get your phones out and get those phalanges working and you follow my food truck.
There you
And
go.
so a lot of people would ask me, like, how'd the journey go and what was the process of you becoming plant-based or vegan? And I told them, and they're like, I could never do that. And I'm like, when your life depends on it, and
It's
like
easier.
you have to make
Yeah.
changes, you have to
Yeah.
make drastic
good
and
point.
being so young and finding out that I had prostate issues at a young age, like I remember I had to fight the doctor. I went to him and I'm like, hey man, like I'm thinking I'm having prostate issues, and he's like, no, you're good, you're 28. And I'm like, nah, I think I do. I thought I was some weirdo that just wanted some prostate exam, and I was like,
Hey, I just want to be touched.
yeah,
The doctor's like,
yeah, I
"Not
need some
today."
love or something. This is before the Tinder days.
I'm lonely. Come
Yeah,
on, man.
total lonely. So I had to. It was a 10-minute conversation to even get the guy to check my prostate to
Right.
find out that I had issues with my prostate. And so, like, I think a lot of people are a lot more aware now. But I mean, I'm 40, and this was 13, 12 years ago, and
Right.
I think the awareness wasn't as high back then. I'm not too sure. I was in the Army, so no one really talked about it.
Gotcha.
But I mean, I don't know.
What was the first thing that you started noticing when you change your diet with your lifestyle, basically you go into vegan? What was the first thing you started noticing that were changing on your body? Like,
I lost a lot of weight.
Nice.
And I thought that the weight I was at was my normal weight because I'd work out, I'd I'd eat right, and I was doing everything. I've always been super active, being in the Army. You run all the time, you do all this other stuff that they ask you to do. And I'm like, okay, like 170, that's just my weight I'm at. And within the first month of being a vegan, I dropped down to 150.
Wow.
And I've been about 150 for about 5 years now. And ever since I went vegan, and I'm like, no matter what I eat, I could eat a whole thing of French bread, or I could eat a whole bunch of kale. I'm still about 150 no
That's
matter
awesome,
what.
man. So your healthy weight was 150. You never worried that it would go down too much?
I went down to like I was climbing a lot. I climbed way too much there before the food truck. And I was trying to get thinner so I didn't have to carry that weight up the wall.
Gotcha.
And I got down to around 142, and I went to my doctor, and he said, if you start getting down below 139, that's when you need to start worrying.
Okay.
So I just kind of kept an eye on it, and then I started building up more muscle and like incorporating different things into my diet. And I mean, it's obviously a learning curve. It's not like I went into like plant-based diet and like I know how to eat and be healthy.
Right,
and
I'm a perfect vegan.
And since I was doing it for my health and I have healthcare through the VA, I was doing blood panels for the first 6 months.
Okay.
And just making sure that I wasn't deficient in the omegas or in the B12, all the stuff that when you go into a plant-based diet, people are like, oh yeah, plant-based diet or veganism almost killed me. Well, yeah, if you eat Oreos, bagels, and hummus all day, like, you're not gonna survive. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
you have to eat the right thing, even if it's just being vegan. Are you complementing your with vitamins?
No,
your B12 is fine. Because I know B12 is
B12 is really big. Everything we cook on the truck has nutritional yeast in it, and so do you know Nooch?
I do.
I do. The supermarket?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't know that nutritional yeast is called Nooch, and that's what the supermarket is called, Nooch. And so nutritional yeast has a lot of B12 in it, so we pretty much throw it in the burger patties, we throw it in the cheese sauce, we throw it in the soups, we throw it in everything so that, like we're incorporating that into people's diets.
Right.
I started eating a lot of hemp hearts. The hemp hearts took me about a year to figure out. Like once I got the blood panels back and I'd be like, okay, I'm a little low in this or that, I'd be like, research foods that I need to incorporate into my diet.
Gotcha.
And I think that's what people are doing when they're not going into a plant-based diet, is looking at that stuff and being like, either you're doing it for the animals and you're like not really worried about your health at the time.
Right.
But they're not looking at like, hey, I might be deficient in this or that, and what do I need to incorporate to get that into my diet?
So you got to balance, like they always say, right? Since we're little, balanced diet.
Yeah.
And veganism or vegan is not the exception. A balanced diet.
No, you still need to like keep an eye on, like, when you're a meat eater, you need to keep an eye on your cholesterol. You need to keep an eye on blood pressure, this and that. When you're a vegan, you need to keep an eye on certain things, your omega-3s, your omega-6s, your B12s, and like, okay, how can I incorporate things? So I do hemp hearts and nutritional yeast a lot. I do like amino acids, stuff like that.
Cool.
So, but people always ask me, oh, you take a supplement? I might take a B12 vitamin. Like I keep them in my bag in case I haven't ate nutritional yeast in like a week. I might like pop a pill or something like that. But
emergency kind of deal.
Yeah, but since starting the food truck a month and a half ago, like, I mean, I eat our food every day. I'm like, I know it has like a bunch of nutritional yeast. We go about through 6 pounds of nutritional yeast in our recipes, like every week. So
like whatever you're missing is right at hand, right?
Yeah, it's just right there. So.
There's another. What's another thing that they when you go vegan, do you need to keep an eye on besides B12? There's
the B12, the omega-3s, omega-6s, vitamin D. In Colorado, it's a little better just because like how sunny it is here. That you get a lot of vitamin D. Iron can be sometimes a problem. It's funny because like everybody says, "Oh, where do you get your protein from?"
Yeah.
I've never had a kidney stone for 38 years, and I gave myself a kidney stone eating too much protein. My doctor was like, "You need to cut back." I was really training hard for this event, and I was doing like a protein shake in the morning. I was eating, kale and spinach and a whole bunch of that. And then I was doing a lot of vital wheat gluten. And,
man.
I gave myself a little baby kidney stone. Came out like, a little baby salt shaker. So, it came out in like probably like 2 or 3 weeks, and it was a really small one, so they didn't have to do anything. It just passed on its own. Nice. But they're like, hey, like you really need to keep. And like I'm kind of the exception because I was training for something at the time.
Right.
But like on my average diet, the average person doesn't need to take in the amount of protein that
you
that most people think that they need to take in. Everybody's like, oh, if you want to build mass, you need to, get 1.1 of your body weight grams of protein.
Gotcha.
And like you really only need like 60 to 80, 90, something like that. So
Nice.
And that depends too on your body and your size and
yeah,
everything.
I mean, and everybody's body's different.
You're
know?
right. Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, if you just eat a balanced diet and you're eating vegetables and you're eating beans or nuts or like you're gonna get that protein.
You're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest problems when it comes to diets and this type of things is that a lot of people tend to think like whatever works for you, it might work for me too.
Yeah,
and
it's not like that.
It's not like that. Our bodies is different, or their sizes, even like regimes. Like Hispanics or white, black. We all have different genes.
It's all different.
It's all different.
But the cool thing about that is being on a plant-based diet is it complements. Like even if your body's different than mine, your body, a zucchini squash or a yam or a sweet potato is going to be as good for me as it is for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Where
there's no arguing there.
Yeah,
You make
like
a good point. Yeah.
if you eat a head of kale, it's
Right.
not like that doesn't work with my body. Like a
Right.
head of kale is good for you. I don't care what diet you're on.
It's like the equivalent of if you go the other end, right? If I eat a cake all to myself or half a pizza, like it's bad for everyone. Like there's no way around it.
Yeah, that's true. But unless you're allergic to some of the stuff,
Yeah,
that might be.
True.
There's cases, but
True.
I mean,
Yeah, and there are some allergies that make it really hard to be plant-based. Like if you're a tree nut allergy, if you have a gluten allergy, like that can make it really challenging, and you really got to figure out like, okay, what am I going to eat? And that just adds a different layer.
Yeah.
And it just depends on how dedicated you are to doing it. So
you basically, you guys just don't eat anything that comes from animals, right?
I don't do anything that comes from an animal.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, jeez, I can't. I love eggs.
Yeah, like
I love eggs too.
What do you do for that? Like, if you replace in your breakfast, what would be
For breakfast for me?
Yeah.
I do a lot of oatmeal. I love a bagel with some like vegan cream cheese. And then I put some kale or a tomato on it. Some kind of vegetable.
But you take care of like carbs, like make sure you don't eat too much carbs.
Oh no, I eat a shit ton of carbs.
You do? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
but you work out a lot, right? So it kind of
not now, right now. No.
Okay.
I mean, I climb here about like 1 day a week right now.
Gotcha.
But like, if it's a carb, like fruit is pretty much all carbs.
Right.
But it's a fruit is a carb that your body can process really easily, opposed to a carb that is processed and
Like
it's in
bread,
a
like
cracker
white
or
bread.
a chip or something
Yeah.
like that. So your body's gonna fly through a strawberry super easy,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And so like everybody's like, oh, carbs are bad, and there's this big fad right now where it's like, stay away from carbs, this and that.
Right.
Like,
right.
like carbs don't have to be bad as long as you're being active and you're eating the right kind of carbs.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
That's the key, the right kind of carbs.
Yeah,
'Cause if
don't
you-
eat chips all day. You can't eat just jalapeno chips. Like, I love chippies too, but like,
We had to be like detailed when we're talking about what kind of carbs. 'cause
Yeah.
there might be someone that's gonna listen to it like, oh, he said that I can eat any type of carbs.
I can eat all the carbs
Yeah.
I want. Like, yeah.
I ate 3 French breads because
Yeah.
he said I could. Yeah. No,
And
that's
there's
true.
that's a weird thing. There's a different type of carbs. People don't know that, but like with pasta, there's some pasta. They're like, I don't know if it's organic or whatever you want to call it, but they don't make you feel like you're
Bloated
Yeah,
and-
bloated and all that. And that's the good one. But if you get the regular one at the store, like if you eat too much of that, you're just gonna feel like shit.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's like
I'm not a doctor and I'm not an expert on any of this. But if any diet says no, don't eat fruit, like you really need to reevaluate that diet.
Exactly.
I think.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't eat healthy, and I know if I read that, I'd be like, okay,
yeah,
I'm out.
I think like fruit and vegetables. Like if a diet said don't do that, or if a lifestyle said don't incorporate those, I'd really like second guess that. So
So like speaking of like knowledge, man, this type of stuff, like I was gonna mention earlier, like when I read up on being vegan or veganism, things like that, it seemed like a little bit of homework. So it tells me that not only do you live the lifestyle, you're extremely educated on it. So
me, I try to be. I mean,
right, of course.
I mean that's the plan.
And this is where I'm going with it. So like obviously you took that And was that your inspiration to transition into like the food truck, or what made you want to give that message through a food truck to the people, or how did you start your food truck?
So the food truck, yeah. So before I went vegan and plant-based and all this stuff, I always wanted to open up a coffee cart. And so I got out of the Army, and never worked customer service, never made coffee. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go in and make coffee. So I worked at Starbucks.
Oh,
And yeah, started making coffee at Starbucks. I was in Oregon and worked at Starbucks for about 6 years. They made me a manager when I moved to Denver. And I was really good at it as far as like the business side of it.
Okay.
Like my store, we ran pretty much the fastest drive-through in 6 states. It was over in Lakewood. So the business side, it really clicked with me.
nice.
And I wanted to open up a coffee cart, but I found out I was allergic to caffeine. So
Oh
yeah,
my
so like the coffee cart idea kind of like about 3 years into Starbucks, I found out I was allergic to caffeine. So
How do you find out?
so I always had like knee problems, and like my knees would always ache. And when I was a kid, they said, "Oh, you have growing pains." I was a late bloomer, so I got held out of a year of PE. When I was in the Army, it would always just come and go. I'd always have knee pains. I thought I was a paratrooper, and I jumped out of airplanes, and I ran a lot. So they were like, "Oh, you just run a lot, this and that."
Right.
And then when I was in out of the Army, I was like still having knee pains. When I started working at Starbucks, I started drinking a lot of coffee.
Gotcha.
And it started just getting more and more, and I was trying to figure it out. And so I started doing elimination diets because they wanted to do a knee replacement on me.
Oh,
and I was like, I'm like 35 at the time,
Right.
and I'm like, there's no way. And at the same time, I was like going through processing into a plant-based diet, and I was like, okay, if eating can solve my prostate issues, like, can it solve my knee issues? So I started like
Right.
cutting out like nightshade vegetables for like a month or two. I started cutting out gluten, seeing if that did it. Started doing all these elimination diets. When I got to caffeine, instantaneously fixed it.
Wow.
And so I went to my doctor, and he said something completely different. He's like, that doesn't exist. And I'm like,
it's not science.
okay, well, it works for me. Like, whenever I have caffeine, about 8 hours later, like my knees, like I can't even walk. I can't sleep. It just aches. And so my sister kind of has the same problem, but she doesn't drink coffee.
Okay.
She does kind of like teas sometimes, and she had some knee issues. Told her about that, and she was like, "Oh yeah, it kind of solved it." So,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So had a knee replacement. So I wasn't gonna do a coffee cart. I was working at Starbucks. Jared, my partner, who wanted to be here tonight,
But the Nuggets were playing.
yeah, the Nuggets were playing. Nah, he had something come up, so he was like, I gotta go take care of this stuff, and I'm like, okay. But he used to work for me, and we kind of like bounce the idea back and forth a little bit. And then I stopped being at Starbucks, and I kind of like retired for a little bit. And he like came to me, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to do that food truck we got and talked about?" And I was like, "It's the closest thing to a coffee cart that I could ever think of."
Right.
And I'm like, I've always had a problem, like after I got out of the Army, of finding a job that had purpose.
Okay.
And so like opening up this food truck, like it felt like it gave me a lot of purpose to make a little bit of a difference in my part of the world.
Nice.
And like, so.
Do you went to classes to cook, or did you just decide?
I've always just cooked.
Nice.
But vegetables,
Yeah.
is this still? Oh, okay.
I mean, once I went vegan, like I definitely took all my recipes, and I was like, okay, how can I veganize these recipes? And so like,
Gotcha.
how can I like change these to plant-based? So like, just making little changes. Like I want a chili cook-off, and so I was like, okay, let's replace the pork sausage with something else, you know?
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah.
let's just little changes, and stuff happens. And
Perfect.
I don't know if you had the beer cheese corn chowder that we make.
I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, you wouldn't even believe that it was plant-based, and it has so many veggies in it.
It's so yeah, you really wouldn't.
Yeah.
You really don't taste it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
How-
I think that was for me.
Okay, so here's the story. My sister loved this story. I was like 10, and I've always loved to cook. And I remember I was 10 because she had just got her learner's permit, and she could like drive on her own a little bit. And we were living in San Diego. And I was cooking, and I tried to set the Guinness World Record for eating the most eggs consistent days in a row. And my mom put a stop to that, and she's like, no. But in that process, I was making different things. And I made this breakfast burrito. And this is 85, 86, something like that. Made this breakfast burrito called the Ben Egg Burrito. And I said, Mom, you need to take me down to McDonald's. I'm going to sell this to McDonald's.
Oh.
And she was like, Lisa, take him down to McDonald's. And
She
like,
played along.
well, she was like, I don't want to take him down there, but she had just got her license. And so my mom made her take me down there. I was like, do you want to come in? She was like, no. So she sat in the car. And I went into McDonald's, had to sit down with the store manager at 10 years old and was like, I got this. Had a little sample for him. And he was like, yeah, this is good. Like it had like refried beans and some eggs and stuff like that.
Nice.
Then never heard from him again. And then the next year, I think McDonald's came out with breakfast burritos. So you're welcome.
You're welcome. Hey, yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I take credit for that all
Yeah.
day long. Yeah.
So the food truck was about 2 years ago is when we had the concept for it and we started saving money for it. And we were doing food testing and I made a Ben Egg burrito. And I sent a picture and my sister was like, is that a Ben Egg burrito? And I was like, you know it. So yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
So you kind of just like played around with the food, got better as you went.
Yeah.
Well, what at this point? Well, first of all, let's start with the name, the Veggie Yeti. Where does that name come from, man? First of all,
It was a lot of brainstorming.
okay,
Yeah, and it's just we didn't want to put vegan in the name because of the stereotype that comes kind of along with that.
Gotcha.
And our target audience is not vegans; it's non-vegans.
Okay.
And so I didn't want someone looking at the name and being like, "Nah, I'm good. I don't." And we still get a little bit of that being the Veggie Yeti.
Okay.
But we really just wanted to be inclusive and friendly, and we wanted to have a mascot, so we kind of wanted to kind of go with that. And
With the Yeti.
yeah.
Does belief have some, like I believe, the Yeti symbol?
Not
too much.
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
I think that's important to meet someone like you, or probably your partner. Probably you guys are similar.
My partner.
And, partner.
I'm 40 and just coming out of the closet.
Partner in business, so co-owner
On this podcast.
Your burrito's not the only thing your mom and sister are like, oh
Oh
my
my
God.
goodness. Something was weird. He was cooking at
Right,
10.
yeah.
No, but because when you meet people it's into like diets or like different styles, like vegetarian or vegan, they tend to push all this stuff on you. So you're trying to be like more like,
Yeah.
let me know.
It's not my job.
Yeah, it's not my thing. I probably don't want it. It's kind of annoying, But when you have something like it's not trying, it's not pushing it, and you're like, hey, give it a shot, try. That's when you probably get a lot of surprises. And you're like,
Right.
this stuff is good, I'm gonna
Yeah.
try it again. But I think it has to be like that. It's just natural, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
let it come here.
Organic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be intrinsic for you. I'm not going to say something or give you food or anything. And all of a sudden you're going to wake up and be like, I'm a
Boom.
vegan now.
Exactly.
It has to be an intrinsic motivation for you.
Right.
And like, that's not going to come from me. And so
Right.
my job is to be there as a support system to give you delicious food, to make it where you're like, I've had probably like 10, 15 people in the month and a half we've been open that have been like, if I eat your food every day, I could be a vegan. And I'm
Nice.
like, dope. Like that's what I'm aiming for. And like the best feeling is we were at Movement Climbing Gym probably like 2 weeks ago on a Thursday night, and this couple came out, and the husband was like, I want a burger. They didn't know we were a vegan truck.
Okay.
The wife was like, oh, I've heard about these people. I want to eat with them. And she was like, okay, I'm going to get something. And then he found out we were vegan, and he's like,
Oh, God.
he's like, I wanted a real burger. And he like didn't want to eat there. And he's like, come on, let's go somewhere else. And she was like, no, I'm going to eat here. I'm just going to get something quick. And he was like, well, fine, we'll just eat here. And he was like super disappointed.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, hey, my man, like if you don't like it, like I'll give you a cookie dough, or like I'll give you a refund. Like it's not a big deal to me, man. Like if you don't want to eat here, don't eat here. Like I was like, but give it a shot, man. And like give me some honest feedback. How can I make it better? How can I make it more appealing? He's like, I'm just a hardcore meat eater. And like that's what I crave. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, well, give me some feedback. If you like the burger, if you don't like the burger, just give me some feedback. They came back, they went and ate in their car, and they came back probably like a half hour later. And he was like, that's one of the top 3 burgers I've had in Denver. And I was like,
Wow.
and he's like, you've really changed my mind. And I'm like, that's what little victories like that is what makes it worth it for me to keep doing this.
Very
And, like,
nice.
feels like I'm doing purpose.
I hope more vegans will listen to this podcast and be like, okay, I don't have to be
I don't have to be a jerk or
yeah,
push it.
yeah.
because we definitely do have that stereotype.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no one's gonna change, because someone said something in a chat room or on a
Right.
comment section.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to change anybody's mind like that.
Yeah.
You're going to
Okay.
change their mind by just being supportive. And like, you're not going to be a vegan overnight. It's not everybody's process is the same.
Right.
And like, my goal is just to help you incorporate that parts of that into your life.
To be healthier
Yeah.
and a better diet. Yeah.
I mean, it's better for everybody. It's better
Right.
for the environment. It's better for the animals that don't have to be slaughtered. It's better for your body. Like, how can I help you get to there without being pushy, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly. So how do you, when that friction does arrive, like how do you deal with that kind of
What kind of friction?
like I want to call it hate, like when someone's like
when someone hates on me?
yeah, when
Yeah,
someone's judging
Yeah,
a
that
vegan?
happens every day. So, I mean, that's, like I said, it's not my job to judge them. It's my job to try to be supportive. And so I try to give them samples. I'm like, hey, you should try this beer cheese corn chowder, or you should, sample the cookie dough or whatever.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I just try to give them some samples and just show them like, hey, what we're about. And I mean, if they're not about it, they're not about it. They're not ready in their process, and maybe they're never going to be ready. I don't know.
Yeah.
But me having a conflict with them right then is not the way that's going to change their mind. It's just going to push them further away.
Gotcha.
And so I just try to be as supportive as possible and just try to be as nice and as friendly and as loving as possible. And hopefully one day they recognize that and they're like, oh, I will try this guy's food.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
hopefully it resonates with them. So,
It's cheap to be vegan.
yeah, a lot cheaper than people think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you're eating a lot of processed stuff or the fake meats and stuff like that, it can be kind of expensive. But if you're eating, like, I eat a head of kale a day, and I usually put it on like my bagel or bread and hummus, or I put it in a lot of soups. I make a lot of soups. I mean, it's a $1.29 at Sprouts for
Right.
a head of kale. And so, I mean, I eat that. I eat, I mean, I'm actually working on making a YouTube channel. It's called the Hobo Kitchen, where it's like meals that are under $2 that you can make in a jet boil. And
Nice.
like
Cool.
for camping, or if you're on the go, or
Climbing.
if you're climbing, or
Nice.
I live in my car, so I do a lot of stuff out of my jet boil. So I'm like, okay, like these are meals that you can do under $2 that are super affordable, vegan, like, yeah, nutritious.
Awesome.
Because that's what a lot of people think. Like being healthy is expensive to be healthy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, there's ways. Definitely. Yeah. Cool. That's cool.
So like at this point my question would be like your actual diet within the truck. Like do you have flagship items? Like you're saying you're getting better at cooking, you've gotten better. So what are people talking about? What is the thing that you make the best? What is the hardest or the
Ooh.
most unique?
The beer cheese corn chowder, it's not on the menu this month.
Okay.
It'll come back in the colder months. But like, I don't know of anybody, like other vegan restaurant or food truck, doing a beer cheese corn chowder. And I used to make a white chicken chili,
Oh,
and I
okay.
was working on a beer cheese beer cheese recipe before I went vegan. And so I just kind of combined the two and took out the chicken and just added a whole bunch of veggies to it.
And people are like,
And-
how'd you think of this?
Yeah,
Right.
and like it's definitely unique, and but like our burger, like I love how the Impossible Burger and the Beyond Meat are coming out, and they're actually being sold in restaurants and stuff.
Nice.
But like I think the first 3 of the 4 ingredients are oils,
Ooh.
and so like you're not eating animals, and it's like a more friendly, better for the environment because animals aren't having to be slaughtered. But I don't know exactly how healthy they are for you.
Okay.
They taste amazing.
Is it like a wet burger or no?
It looks like a burger.
No, like a wet, like a, the bread gets wet with all those oils, or not quite like
No.
that?
I mean, it just like helps it like sizzle, so
Gotcha.
like
Yeah.
it bleeds like a real
Gotcha.
burger. Like it's a tasty burger.
Nice.
Like Jared, my partner, he's not a vegan, and he had it, and he's like, "This is a really good burger." I'm like, it's really tasty, and but like my job is to not like. Yeah, that's awesome that they're being all offered and stuff like that, and I want to see that progress further. But my mission with the burger was to be healthy and to have a clean burger that tasted somewhat like meat. And so like we do ours with walnuts, brown rice, and portobello mushrooms,
Okay.
and it's just a clean, like it's just super clean, and it has no cholesterol. It has half the fat that a normal patty does.
Okay.
More protein than a normal patty does. So our burger patty, we've had a couple requests for people just being like, can we just buy your burger patties? Can we buy like a dozen of your burger patties?
Are you starting to do that? Or are you
I don't know.
starting to sell items like that?
We would love to like package it eventually. I mean, we're a
Okay.
month and a half in.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, we've made tweaks. At first it got a little sloppy. We didn't know how to hold it together that well. So we added some binders in there and stuff like that. So it holds together a lot better now. But like, I would say our burger patty is one of the best items.
Yeah,
that we
I've
have.
had it.
Yeah.
He's speaking truth here.
Yeah.
Man.
But if you package it's gonna keep the flavor.
I don't know. We've never worked on it. We've never packaged it like that.
That's
So,
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That sounds more like it's gonna be probably delicious if it's fresh.
Yeah.
Because you can tell, like with meat, you know, like if you have those. First of all, processed meat is just horrible.
But people still buy it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of times you have
Yeah.
good deals for for really cheap. So a lot of people just think about feeling full.
Yeah.
You know, they don't think about anything else.
Yeah.
That's why we have this American horrible diet.
Yeah.
but if you froze, you put it in package, those like regular steaks, that it's not gonna be the same.
Yeah.
So in that
That's
burger
what we
sounds
gotta.
like.
That's what we gotta test out and see. you
Yeah,
know?
that sounds like it sounds good. Like if it's just fresh, it just came out like from whatever
Yeah.
you cook it, and
Right.
it sounds like might be delicious like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're not a religious man, man.
No.
But I like your message. I like your message.
Not
Yeah.
religious at all.
I
so.
like your message, and the way you tell it is very good.
Thanks, man.
I was intrigued by the rotating menu though. You got a rotating menu, so is it did you? I know it's only been a month and a half,
Yeah.
so you can't.
We've
be
changed
like,
it once.
every other week.
Yeah. So once a month we come out with the new burger of the month.
Okay.
It's kind of like Bob's Burgers a little bit. We give it a fancy name. Right now we have the hashtag Holla at Your Fine Apple Burger. It has jalapenos and pineapples, and barbecue
Nice.
sauce, and pepper jack. And last month we had a must-save room for this burger with the sauteed mushrooms and smoked Gouda.
Cool.
The next burger I think is going to be a Nacho everyday burger.
Oh, nice.
So-
It's literally like I'm watching an episode of Bob's.
Yeah,
Burgers,
like
man.
Yeah.
Bob was a big inspiration.
Yeah.
Peace to Bob.
Peace to Bob. Yeah.
Throw out a little liquor for Bob. The rotating menu, we just want to keep it fresh, and we want to keep people like curious about coming back. And so we changed the soup. We're gonna change the soup every month. We're gonna change the burger of the month. Might add a taco. We got a Waldorf salad that we make. We're
Okay.
making a sandwich with that, like a chickpea, like a chicken. It's like a chicken salad sandwich, but we use chickpeas instead of chicken, and
Nice.
that's really good. We're gonna launch that for the Golden Farmers Market when we get into that on June. So
Cool.
Nice.
How has been the response of people? Like, you guys are doing good when
Yeah.
it comes to the business aspect.
yeah, like so obviously we're a new food truck, but I mean we're a month and a half in, and we already have over 2,000 followers on
Nice.
Instagram.
Sweet.
And the thing that we weren't making a ton of money the first couple weeks because people didn't know about us. We didn't have a following yet.
Right.
Basically where we went, people would just kind of eat us there.
Okay.
So I mean, we weren't like crushing the scene, and it was March, and I mean, it was snowy and cold,
Right.
and it's not the greatest food truck weather.
Yeah.
But the best thing that kept me going was people saying your food's amazing and like keep this up, and like
Nice.
I've really never had anybody be like, nah. There's one guy at Alternation that doesn't like our burgers, but all his friends are like, what, you're crazy,
You're
like
crazy.
these burgers are great, and he's
Right.
like, nah, I'm a hardcore meat eater, and it
It
looks
doesn't
too much
fit.
like meat, and it's not meat, and it kind of weirds me out. And and every time I see him, he's just like, wish you'd change that burger. And I'm like, you're the only person that
Right.
doesn't like
I
them.
bet you if you tell like, yes, we're dead for you.
Yeah.
And you just give it the same one, he would be like,
Yeah,
this is
we
real
changed
meat.
this just for you.
Yeah.
So.
He would be like, yeah, this is real
Yeah.
meat. And you're like,
Yeah.
no, it's not.
No, still walnuts. Still walnuts, homie.
I could see this guy just looking at you with that look of you deceived me.
Yeah.
You're still lying to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's some radical people up there.
Yeah.
They're
You're
just
just
not
not gonna
willing
change
to
them,
give
yeah.
give it a shot, and there's no way to change their mind.
Yeah.
At that point, you just forget it.
Right.
But like what you were asking, like yeah, everybody's been super like supportive, and we have like probably like 20 to 25 people that come back to the truck, you know, at least once a week.
Nice.
Or
Sweet.
you know, we have one person that every time we're in Belmar, they come. You get the same thing, and they're like, "I couldn't wait for you to come back to Belmar." And yeah, so like it's just nice knowing that people are saying like, "Oh yeah, you guys might have the best burger in town," or "You guys, this cheese sauce is one of the best cheese sauces I've ever made or
Gotcha.
I've ever had," and they'll come and just buy bowls of cheese sauce.
Nice.
Like we had to add that to the menu because people were just buying our cheese sauce.
A lot.
So, yeah.
So what I was thinking is like you're full blown, man. You got the message, you live the lifestyle, but you did mention that your partner isn't vegan. So where does his passion come from, or what is his standing on all this?
He's
Money.
yeah. No, he definitely likes money.
Don't we all? But yeah.
Well, him and I, we worked together at Starbucks. We had a really good working relationship there. And I'm the type of guy where if we decide to do something, I'm going to jump right in that minute. Like, let's do this tomorrow. And he's more of like, hey, let's research this. Let's find the best way.
Gotcha.
So
This is the numbers guy.
yeah, we complement each other on the Myers-Briggs. We're like supposed to be soulmates. So he might be my
Okay.
partner.
He might-
He might be my partner. I don't know.
Mom and sister, cover your ears.
Yeah.
Make something happen. This
Yeah, so he really balances me out and helps me slow down, and I kind of help him along. And when I went to him and I'm like, hey man, like I know we talked about doing this food truck, and I had this big spiel because our first concept wasn't a vegan food truck.
Okay.
It was like a pressed panini truck where we
Oh,
took
okay.
like tortilla wraps, filled them with stuff, and then panini pressed them. And I got about a month in, 2 months in, and I was like, I can't do this. Like this, my heart's not in this.
Gotcha.
I don't. This is not the type of food I want to serve.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even really try it because I'm a vegan, so it's like
You
you really
know
can't try our recipes, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I went to him and I had this whole spiel of like, hey man, like I had all the counterpoints and all the things, and
Nice.
and I was like, hey man, like I can't do this, like I want to do a vegan food truck.
Oh.
And he was like, okay. I was like, that was a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. And he was like, yeah, I just want to do something with you, and I just think it'd be awesome. And I'm like, okay, cool.
That's a friend.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
And so the cool thing is he loves our burgers. He eats our burgers every day.
Okay.
And he is like, I've seen the results, and I feel like I'm like going in that direction.
Okay.
I don't think he'll ever be completely vegan, but he has definitely incorporated parts of that into his life. And like he's always cooked too his whole life, and he's like, this has been like a cool journey of discovering a new way to cook. He's from Thibodaux, Louisiana, and they eat a lot of gumbo and fried
Right.
foods. And so the first time I took a beet to his house, it was a raw beet. He was like, is that a beet? And I'm like, how are you 30 and never seen a beet before? He's like, we don't use beets in Louisiana. And so like just seeing his journey and seeing his process and like him
Yeah.
come up with recipes, and it's been awesome. Like, and just him embrace it and
Nice.
go with it. And
Yeah, I don't see anybody from a place called Thibodaux knowing what a beet is.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. But
yeah, he's definitely, and he said all his family, because I'm like, oh, what's your mom like? How's your mom doing? This and that. We talk about his family because he Skypes with them all the time, and he's like, all my family's like, what do you make? Like, we don't understand. Like, if you're not cooking meat, like, what are you making on this food truck?
How
Like,
are you alive? And
Yeah.
like, explain it to me.
yeah, so it's cool. Like, just exposing them and his family and all that to like a new population into this world. It's awesome. It's a good
Nice.
journey. So,
Very nice, man. One person at a time.
Yeah, that's
Starting with your your partner.
my partner. Yeah.
Cool. That's kind of what was my idea when he told me about you guys. I was like, that's pretty cool because I probably want to find out the different ways. You know, I know there is some good vegan food up there I just never tried before. I never have not even one dish, you know. But
Yeah.
I know because I've been trying to eat healthier, and like I need to add more, you know,
Yeah.
vegetables to my food.
Nice.
And I hate vegetables, so my relationship with them is not the nicest one. It's
Yeah.
like
Remember, we're blaming your cooking, not the vegetables.
Right.
Right? We're
Well,
blaming your cooking.
I still blame the vegetables. It's never my fault. But no, but it's nice to have options.
Yeah.
At least, you know, you can say, probably gonna go for sure now. I'm gonna go and try it. You know,
Yeah, you
and,
should.
And if it works, I mean, for sure you're gonna have one person try and at least adding to my diet, more, because I don't eat that bad, but
Yeah.
I definitely want to get some
Better.
eat vegetable better in a better way.
Yeah.
a tasteful, nice way.
And speaking of wanting, you're saying you want to find that kind of food. You want to maybe at least try it. Then exposure wise, man, where what's your schedule? Where could they find you? Where's this
so
truck at?
If you follow us on the Veggie Yeti 5280 on Instagram, you got to put the in the front. The Veggie Yeti.
It's the
Veggie Yeti.
It's not the Ohio State.
Yeah.
It's the Veggie Yeti.
It's like the U.
The
It's the U.
The
Yeah, so the Veggie Yeti 5280 on Instagram, or the Veggie Yeti on Facebook.
Okay.
We post our weekly schedule. We post our daily schedule where we're at, and we sell 6, 7, 5 days a week, something like that. We'll be in the Golden Farmers Market starting in June on Saturday mornings.
Oh, cool.
We're the official. I don't know if you can say the official, unofficial food truck of Belmar.
Okay.
We're pretty much the only food truck that's allowed in Belmar Shopping Plaza in
Very
Lakewood.
nice.
So we'll be in there for the music in the plaza on Friday nights.
Okay.
And then we'll be doing Nooch Vegan Market on Broadway and Ellsworth on Sundays, most Sundays.
Okay.
And then most Thursday nights we're at Alternation. So
All right.
and Alternation has a really good thin mint stout right now. I don't know. Did you try it?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. So so come check us out. I would love for you guys to come out, and
Yeah.
if you mention this podcast, how about you get 10% off?
Perfect.
There you go.
Holla at your
There you
boy.
go.
There you go.
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
go ahead
promote
and
it.
mention that. We'll put it on our Instagram as well. man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go this weekend. I'm like, where's my 20%?
Yeah. For
He says-
you, 5%.
5%.
Yeah, special discount.
Right.
The one that's
only
right-
because he doesn't know how to cook.
Yeah.
5%
And I'm the
off.
one who's trying to change, and
Yeah.
you're going like this. No, but it's cool. I mean, definitely, I'm all in with people that trying to do, trying to help
Yeah.
other people would eat better.
Or have a different message.
So I got a question. You have kids.
Yeah,
Do you make your kids eat vegetables?
yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They love it.
Do you talk bad about the vegetables in front of them? You're like,
Nah.
we got to eat these vegetables.
No.
that jerk.
Suck 'em
carrot.
down.
Yeah.
No, because I had to pretend like I love this stuff,
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
eating vegetables in front of my kid. And
How old are your kids?
My kid is 2-year-old.
Oh,
He's a
yeah,
2-year-old. Yeah. But he loves vegetables. That's which is really weird. 'Cause
A
I
huge
don't,
plus,
yeah. And so I don't have problems with him eating vegetables. Actually, he hates candy. But then when it
That's a
comes
good problem to
yeah.
have. I wish I hated candy.
Yeah,
I want to have that problem.
right?
I know, right?
But see, here's when it comes to my big plate of vegetables, I'm like just like yeah. And I'm like just trying to put some water in it, just trying to just get it through quickly.
You give them the fake eat. You're like, oh, this is delicious.
So here's my trick for you: is if you don't like vegetables, is get a good dipping sauce and dip it in a good healthy sauce.
cheddar,
So,
your broccoli cheddar, right? Or
the beer cheese corn
beer
chowder.
cheese
I don't know.
corn chowder.
Yeah, I mean you could definitely dip. But I'm saying like make a dressing or make like a ranch, add some nutritional yeast, add some hemp hearts, and then dip it in that
Oh.
and kind of like
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I try
baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely, like I say, I'm trying to add it. And I hope whoever's listening to this is like, try. At least give it a shot, like honest shot. Not don't go out there and be like, okay, I'm gonna try. Like with that attitude.
Yeah.
You're like, it's not good. You barely taste it. No, give it a shot because
Yeah.
at least this is it's gonna be better for you. Definitely is gonna help with your health.
Right.
And let's start quitting the fucking American diet because that's
Yeah.
a horrible thing. I mean, I love burgers and everything, but I know
I say
it's
we
horrible.
just relabel this American diet where it's like, okay, kale and hummus is the new American diet. Like, why does it have to be fast food? And
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, I mean, I'm still gonna eat my steak, so that's why I say just try at least to eat healthy,
Yeah.
right?
And no, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, we still have stuff on the truck. We're a food truck. And so like we have healthy options on the truck. Like our burgers are pretty healthy, pretty clean. We do a lot of vegetables. I mean, but we do our cauliflower tacos. We do fry them. Like
Nice.
we don't have a way to crisp them back up. And so like if we had an oven on the truck, we would definitely bake them. But like, I mean, we still do some American diet stuff.
Right.
Where, we
It
do
isn't
we
gonna
do
kill you.
we do tater tots.
Nice.
Like
Yeah, of course.
so.
But that's probably way better than that processed food. That's processed meat. I mean, it's probably way better.
Yeah.
Even if you fry it, like if you get those processed meat, then
Right.
that's just gonna be horrible regardless how you eat it. So
We do a lot of breweries right now, and so like probably our top sellers are small loaded tots. And
Yeah, because
people-
everybody's drinking.
yeah, everybody's drinking. They want some like bar food and stuff.
Right.
Or so the buffalo bites and the small loaded tots. And the cool thing is that like, okay, you're still getting fried tater tots, which is not the greatest. But we're putting cheese sauce on them, which is made from potatoes and carrots. And so you're eating potatoes and carrots. We put black olives, black beans, tomatoes, jalapenos, onions, all freshly cut.
Nice.
And so people are getting these vegetables into their diet, even if we're having to put them on like fried tater tots.
Right.
you know?
Like you half and half,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And like our sour cream is made from cashews. And so like you're getting the nuts. You know,
Right, there you
it's just
go.
nut sauce
you
basically.
go.
that's pretty cool. Though.
Yeah.
That's
So
really
like
cool.
we're trying to hide those vegetables on so people can get it into their diet. So
Make sure those big babies will eat it.
Yeah.
and not complain.
Yeah.
babies like me. Yeah, no, I see it.
So-
Well, how do you guys do it with alcohol? Sorry, to like vegans can drink any type of alcohol. Is there some?
That's a good question.
Yeah. I'm not too like versed up on that. I know there's some beers out there that are processed with some animal product or something, or like filtered with an animal product or something like that. But to be honest, I don't know too much about it. So
I would assume you're friendly because you're sitting outside of Alternation, right? So
Yeah.
you guys have that friendship.
well, Alternation is an all vegan brewery.
Really?
And, yeah,
Oh,
they're
okay.
that thin mint stout's an almond milk stout. So the next time
Look
you
at
have
that.
Brendan on here,
Yeah.
get him on here. That's the guy you need to
Nice,
ask about
man.
that.
Cool.
They only have vegan food trucks outside Alternation.
Wow, look at that.
And it's kind of the hub for the vegan food truck game. There's 6 of us all together in Denver. Us, can I give a plug to everybody here?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so there's us, the Veggie Yeti. We opened about 2 months ago. Migration Tacos opened about a month ago. You should check them out. There's Wrong Way Veg. They just got voted best vegan food truck in Denver in
Nice.
Westward. So
Nice.
those 2 ladies are doing amazing things. And if you really want to like some vegetables, they have a beet Reuben that is amazing.
Oh, man. Nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
they do a breakfast at Alternation on Sundays. You should definitely check that out. Different pancakes and stuff like that.
Very nice.
There's the vegan van has been around the longest. They're doing amazing things. SOS Catering, and let's see if I got everybody. SOS Vegan Van, Wrong Way Veg, Migration Tacos, the Veggie Yeti, and MU Denver is a ramen truck.
Oh, nice.
And they just went completely vegan. I think like 4 or 5 months ago. So
It's like a community, man. Like
Yeah.
you guys stick together.
yeah, and on May 19th, we're doing a block party at Nooch where they're shutting down the whole block. I don't think it's called a block party, but it's called the bake sale. And proceeds is 10, I think 10% of everybody's proceeds are going to Broken Shovels. So you should definitely check that out.
Very
and
nice.
come get some good vegan food. There'll be 4 of us there hanging out. So
Nice. I am curious about one thing when it comes to like, now that you're speaking of the community and the food trucks, like I've always wondered, when you start a food truck, what business do you decide to be in front of? So like, for example, you're a vegan truck. Do you only go to vegan establishments, or how do you build that relationship?
So there are some food trucks like Wrong Way Veg goes to Alternation and Nooch.
Okay.
And then they do mainly vegan establishments.
Okay.
Since our audience is not vegans, if
Okay.
our audience is trying to convince people, hey, you should incorporate this more into your diet.
You have a
and
message. Yeah.
Yeah, the west side of town has pretty much no vegan options over there.
Okay.
So we really focused on trying to stay on the west side of town. That's why we're doing the Golden Farmers Market. We're part of the Golden Chambers of Commerce. We're doing the Belmar Plaza in Lakewood. We do a lot of breweries in Littleton.
Okay.
We're just trying to get the message out there to as many people as we can, and like just have as many people as we can try our food. And like, of course, we're gonna have the base vegans that are like, they're our audience when we're like, okay, we need to keep this business running. Like I told you, I have like 25 people that like on a weekly basis I see them.
Right.
They're the ones that like make this possible and make the dream possible
Okay.
to keep the message going to the other people.
Nice.
But like we really try to branch out from the vegan establishments.
Okay.
So
That's sweet.
Very
man.
nice.
That's sweet. Well, man, I really appreciate you came.
yeah, I appreciate
and
you guys having me.
It's really good information. And hope.
Yeah.
Next
Next time I come on here, you're gonna be like, I love vegetables. I know how to cook them.
Hey,
I didn't burn anything.
Yeah.
hey, I hope I'm looking for that actually.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm here saying no. So
Yeah.
I hope definitely that I'm gonna love it, and definitely I'm gonna go and give it a shot to you guys' food, because it sounds like it's good and
Yeah.
it's very delicious. So
Very nice to put a story behind the face, man. So
Cool.
you were
Thanks.
very, very nice when we met, and I'm very glad that you came on.
Cool,
here.
man. Thanks for having me.
yeah.
sure.
If people wants to follow the Instagram,
The Veggie Yeti 5280.
okay. Do you have a personal one that you want people to
I
follow
mean, if you want to follow it, it's Kale_monster.
Cool.
He even put kale in there.
Kale
Look,
_monster.
fully committed. This
Yeah.
guy's fully
I
committed.
love kale. I
Yeah.
eat a lot of kale. So
Right. That's gonna
Nice.
be interesting. All right.
yeah, our soup right now is actually a Korean gochujang kale soup.
I'm getting hungry, man.
Yeah,
You're
it's
making
really
me
good.
hungry.
I
is what you're
totally
doing.
forgot I had some cookie dough bites I was gonna bring for you guys, and I totally spaced
Nice.
it. So
There you, well,
yeah,
next time.
Yeah.
You need to come. You need to come back. Hopefully we
Absolutely.
have
Absolutely.
some beers or something.
Yeah.
Bacon beers. Don't worry.
Some vegan beers.
Yeah.
All right. Where they can find it, man?
Well, they could find us at The Concoction Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, The Concoction One on Twitter, and YouTube, where you could see yourself here pretty soon at The Concoction Podcast, man. And we'll go ahead and promote you, mention you, and thank you for mentioning everybody else. We wouldn't know their names to bring it up, but
yeah,
whatever we could do to bring up this new not new, but trending lifestyle, we're more than happy to do it.
cool.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
All right. Anyone? This episode will be available on YouTube and our channel, The Concoction Podcast, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys next week, man. Ben, thank you
Peace.
again.
yeah.
Bye.